everything has gone according to plan, we should be live on YouTube and Twitch. Maybe someone, please, for the love of everything, explain how Twitch works to me. Because right now, it says I'm both live and not live on Twitch right next to each other. It's just Schrodinger's stream on there. Someone please explain to me how that platform is actually so bad. It literally says, like under my name, live, and then literally right next to it, offline. Which one is it? Which one is it, Bezos? But anyway, I rant about Twitch every single live stream, so that's nothing new. You know what, when I said I wanted to make Weekends with Avrona a regular thing, like every weekend? Oh yeah, how long has it been since the last one? It's like pretty much once a month now we do one of these. But now I'm back and I'm soon gone again, but don't worry. We've finally got some proper internet installed at a house in Poland. We have Starlink there. I'm going to be definitely making a video about all the experiences of getting Starlink. So hopefully next Saturday, when I'll be in Poland yet again, I'll be able to actually do Weekends with Avrona, and it should be an exciting one. Not only are we going to see exactly how good live streaming is on Starlink, it's going to be a very interesting test, but also I'll be there for IFA happening in Berlin. Yes, the hotels and everything at Berlin is so expensive that I decided to, for IFA, basically go to Berlin by coach every single day to and from, because it's cheaper than getting a hotel. So yeah. Obviously, if you want to send things like super chats and stuff like that, or just support the channel on Patreon, so that I don't have to do this kind of things in the future, that'd be fantastic. But it's fine. Our house isn't like too far or anything, so it's absolutely fine. I missed a lot then since I was last year. I think the last show was on the 10th of September, no, August. Yeah, now it's the 31st. So it's been a while. I missed quite a lot. A lot has happened in the tech world and in general. So I'd say let's just go straight into it, shall we? What is our first topic here anyway? Ooh, okay. Let's just go into this. It's a pretty sad one. Why is it that we like, open both of the last shows with like the sad news? And that is that Anantech is ending. They've been like doing this for 27 years. They're one of the big ones when I've been really getting into all of this. I use them as a source in my videos a lot. It's one of the cornerstones of the entire tech press. And just like that, it's gone. Just like that. I think they pointed it out themselves. It's very poetic that the very first review was of an AMD CPU, and then the very last review was of an AMD CPU. So it's a nice way to start and end. Just for some context, they've been doing this since 1997. 1997. They've been doing it for way longer than I've even been alive. It's actually insane to think about. Now, thankfully, and like, who was it recently? I can't remember now. Someone else like big shut down recently, but they pretty much took everything offline just after the announcement. So the people who actually worked there, or the writers, couldn't even back up or download all of the articles they've written across the years. Who was it? It was someone big. I can't remember. If someone in chat could remind me who it was that pulled that off recently, that'd be fantastic, because I actually can't remember. Unlike that, Anantech are leaving the website up because, guess what? Archiving 27 years of tech news and stuff like that is kind of important, kind of a big deal. And also the forums which they have are also going to be kept up, and they're just going to keep on running like nothing has happened. Oh man, just trip down memory lane here of all the photos. Look how young everyone is. Look how young all of them are. Oh my word. And this is only 2016. There we have the crew in 2014. Oh my word. In June 1998. Look at this board. So yeah, that's one of the big ones. It's definitely been, Anantech was obviously one of the big Oops, sorry, I unfortunately muted myself there. So that I see that they just haven't attempted to go via. Hopefully, audio is fine now. I have no idea what a dropout was. There we go. Yeah, should be fine now. So they haven't attempted to go into audio and video at all. Like, why? That's like the very obvious direction, and because Anantech has that reputation already, it'd be so, maybe not super easy, but relatively easy to get an Anantech channel going because they already have the name to back it up. That's the big thing. So if they went, hey, we're gathering with the best people, we're making a channel called Anantech, even if it's not the original Anantech crew, even if they just give someone the rights to the name, at least that's somewhat relevant to the site. Obviously, people don't go to Anantech just for the name Anantech or just for the articles. They go for the specific people. They go for the people they like, who write in the way they like, in a way that the readers like. So that's kind of, if they can get those people to just like write some scripts for some videos on a YouTube channel, call it Anantech, that, I think that could be a way to preserve their legacy. But written media is just not what it used to be. You can very much make money off of it. If you don't know, for a while last year, for like a period of 6 months, I wrote articles for GeekWatt and the sister site PC Hardware Hub, and that is pretty much most of the money is just about affiliate links. And even just, I'm honestly surprised myself, even for a small channel like my own, how much you can make on stuff like Newegg, affiliates, Amazon Associates. Like, it pays, even for a very small viewership like mine, it pays surprisingly well. So if you have a viewership, and if you just do everything to SEO maximize everything and to really push the links as much as possible, you can make serious bank. And that was like the big thing with articles I did for people like GeekWatt, and especially with PC Hardware Hub. It became even further about just making you click on the links. And something I definitely need to get better at myself, just making it more obvious that, hey, Amazon Associates is a thing, Newegg affiliates is a thing, we have the links, you know, click them. And that's the thing about another thing about it is the way the programs work, especially Amazon Associates, is that if you buy literally anything from Amazon, it doesn't have to be the product that is linked by, you know, the website or the YouTube or whatever. It can be, as long as you get to Amazon via the link, everything is fair game. So, you know, I had like, what, mosquito repellent, I made money on that, like a canned tomato soup, one of those, like, I can't remember what it's called, but those are like figurines, not figurines, but like, the thing you've put at the front of your car, you know, not like on your hood, like a little metal thing you'd put at the front of your hood. Someone bought one on that and I made money on that. So that's the thing, as long as you get to a lot of those sites via just that person's link, it's all fair game. That is why they're so powerful, and it's just something that sites like these just have to really maximize in any way possible, because ads just aren't what it used to be. I mean, especially seeing hello, I can't see ads on here as well because ad blocker. So I'm definitely part of the problem. I'm currently in the process of, you know, poking the already dead Anantech here, and that is kind of the sad kind of reality of this situation. It's all about the kind of affiliate thing. Sponsorships, of course, are a big thing as well. What else can they do, really, apart from just sponsorships and affiliate marketing? Ads are still a thing, but it's just not really the same. Pretty much the other big thing I could really suggest, and I'm not like a huge expert obviously, but I've been in this industry for quite a while, is probably stuff that you can't really get or is less annoying to get from text rather than video. And for me, one of those things personally, let me know if you guys are the same, but for me, one of the things is tutorials. Whenever I need to look up how to do a specific thing, I never go to YouTube. It's like pretty much the only thing I don't go for video content for, and that's tutorials, because there's usually just so much fluff. There's just so much fluff and just yapping about nothing at the start of the video. It's difficult to find exactly what you want. It has gotten easier ever since YouTube introduced chapters, and now you can just like skip to a specific chapter in the video, but I prefer when doing with tutorials, I prefer just to have text. I don't have to like pause, rewind, anything. I can just quickly find the paragraph I need, just highlight it, whatever, and then just, as long as they very simply put it what I need to do step by step, I find written tutorials much easier to kind of deal with. Again, if you're the same, let me know in the comments. Is it just like a weird me thing? Again, let me know in the live chat. But that's definitely something I could see a lot of those kind of sites try to go towards. Again, if that is a trend that a lot of people share, not just me. Because, yeah, tutorials on websites are much better. Then you can get ads on that. Obviously, you won't be getting as much from affiliate marketing on that. Well, it depends what a tutorial is about, I guess. If the tutorial is, if, you know, the tutorial, you know, suggests that, oh, to make this and this easier, you need to buy this product, or in order to make this thing happen at all, in order to make this work, you need this product, and then you link it. That could work as well. That could work as well. So yeah, Anantech, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be definitely weird not having Anantech here in the industry anymore. But that is a life. Ugh. I know they're all like talented people who work there, who've written there, so they're gonna find work like in other platforms very easily. Anyway, need a quick snack here. Oh, look at this. I don't think I've showed these off in any video, but these are some like snacks I got them from Computex. These are like these banana cookies, and they kind of have the a nice little outline of Taiwan, and just says 2024. Yeah, they were given by this company called Sunny Hills, who were giving away stuff like this at Computex. Man, I missed Computex already. And honestly, I can't wait to go again next year. Well, unfortunately, Anantech won't be covering it, but oh well. Anyway, what do we have next? We have a lot of stuff to go through, and not a lot of time. Speaking of people not really doing well financially, we of course have to talk about Intel and them just still being kind of Intel. Intel Innovation, the big kind of show towards the end of the year, got officially delayed. And that's it. We don't know when exactly it's been rescheduled to yet. We don't know if it's going to affect the launch of Arrow Lake, the next generation of desktop CPUs. And in general, things are not looking well for Intel. I think we all saw how much they just plummeted recently, and all Pat Gelsinger could do was just have quote Bible verses on Twitter, which I like that approach. In a situation like that, you need to do something. And yeah, like I said before, Pat Gelsinger is probably my favorite of the big three CEOs right now, even if the company's in terrible shape. But a lot of it is truly to do with the situation that the company was left with. And what also doesn't help is, well, depending on how you look at it, there's been some rumors that they are planning on selling the Foundry service, and apparently the market reacted very positively to the news. That's something to think about. When the rumors started appearing that they could sell all the foundries or the fabs, that the market actually thought that as a good thing for Intel. Are we just really going to are we really just going to enter a world where it's just TSMC left? And the sad thing is that Intel had that whole roadmap. They had a whole roadmap about how they're going to finally get back to being the industry leaders. And now that's all just... It's sad. It's sad because obviously TSMC are great. They are great at what they do. But of course, competition is always nice. And I also just want Intel to really prosper, because like I said, I want Pat Gelsinger. I want to be vindicated when it comes to Pat Gelsinger as a CEO. However, if they must, they must. And we'll see. Another thing is that their facilities are just split all over the world. I'm pretty sure they have some in the States. They have some in, I believe, Ireland. They have some of the fabs in Israel. Like, it's all spread all across the world. So it could be, especially especially the last one, could be a very difficult one to sell in a current situation in the Middle East. So it's gonna be very interesting how that all goes if they do go ahead and sell it, especially with, you know, TSMC as well. They're great, but they're also not in a fantastic position geographically, you know, with that whole situation going on. Granted, they have been expanding. They have the new facilities in Arizona, I believe. Though it did make me laugh when I saw an article that TSMC weren't really too happy about what American work culture is like compared to, you know, Asian work culture, and I just found it funny. I just found it kind of funny, especially just the wording of it. They didn't like the work culture of the people there. Just a very kind way of calling people lazy. Patrick Harrison says, have you heard if Sapphire Rapids refresh have the same degradation issue as Raptor Lake? I'm honestly, if that's the case, then yikes. Granted, CPU, because I don't know. I think it's just. I'd assume it's just Raptor Lake, but if the bug has also spread to other platforms, unless it means have you heard of, rather than have you heard if, is it confirmed news? Let me know if that's confirmed news or not, because I'm actually not sure. If they have the same degradation issue with the permanent chip damage, then oh boy, Intel, are you in trouble? But yeah, I'm not sure fully if they have the same issue or not. So if you can just confirm, that'd be fantastic. Anyway, Intel. I was about to say if Intel was going to be at IFA, but then there's a note about it just here. What is worth noting is that the company has already announced that Intel Core Ultra 200V Lunar Lake will be released on September 3rd at IFA in Germany. This decision to postpone Innovation 2024 is not affecting those plans, so maybe I'll see something of these brand new CPUs from Intel at IFA. Hopefully. Anyway, it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be my first time at IFA. It's so close to here, but I've never even probably heard of it before. I may have heard it like once or twice, but before this year, I didn't even know such a big show is happening just in Berlin. I haven't heard it's happening, and I want another Xeon because they're good and they just work, but if they degrade, then I can't do it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just a Raptor Lake bug. I haven't seen any reports about Xeons having the same issues. But again, don't quote me on that. I would assume it would be a lot more in the news if what are supposed to be the most, you know, the most just everything proof CPUs, you know, enterprise solutions. I'd assume that it'd be a much bigger deal if those all of a sudden started to die on people. So yeah, in Innovation 2024 cancelled. Oh wow, what do we have next? Oh, this one right here. This is actually insane. They got AI to play Doom, because Doom can literally run anything, but this works by basically having the AI generate new frames, just generate the environment, generate everything. It just gets, you know, fed Doom as a basis, but there's no engine. There's no game code. There's code for the AI itself, but there's no game code. It just generates the gameplay procedurally. That is actually insane. It is actually insane that this works. There we go. Is this the video? Yeah, this is the video I saw as well. All of this, again, just AI generated. Like, is it actually doing all the calculations for stuff like ammo and health and stuff like that? Again, all the environments, everything. It's just all AI. It hasn't been fed. Like, obviously, it's been fed data about what a Doom level looks like, but these aren't like specific levels, as far as I know. That is actually insane. And usually the thing with AI is that it just doesn't have a good, memory. But here, when you turn around, or like it basically remembers what the area around you is like. That's pretty big. That is pretty awesome. Would I want to play a whole AI generated game? I don't think so. It's pretty cool for stuff like this, or for anything that doesn't require these handcrafted environments. Because the thing about environments and level design is that it's just, you can make an AI come up with a good level design that has interesting set pieces, that has interesting stuff happening, but in terms of a whole artistic vision, it's gonna be a lot more difficult. Because, I mean, okay, one day we'll probably get there. One day AI will probably make something that is considered artistically good, that has kind of that depth of character to it. When I think of of like a mission in Cyberpunk 2077, right? When I enter into an apartment in a city to do some mission there, a lot of it could be definitely AI generated, but it's all the like little touches that are required to make it cyberpunk. The only people who have the full context of what makes sense in the context of the game are the developers. Sure, they can feed the AI all of the goals for the tone and the atmosphere of the game. They could feed them all of the cyberpunk reference materials, but it's only going to be the developers and writers and designers who have the kind of full vision, and when they give that up to AI, the AI is then controlling what the player sees, and that thing may just not align with whatever they want to accomplish for the game. So I don't know. It's a difficult thing. It might take 10, 40, 90s to run that old game that way. Seems like kind of a waste. Yeah, it's probably that's an interesting thing. Doom is usually so easy to run, but when you run it on a neural network like this, I wonder what the actual costs are. Again, it's probably low resolution. You can definitely just render it. To save on horsepower, you can definitely just render it in like, I don't know, 480p whatever, just to make it feel more retro and to save on resources. Granted, it'd still be very, very difficult to run that AI model locally. You would have to run it from the cloud. Again, maybe one day AI will get good enough that this kind of AI model could just run on your PC at home. We just have to wait and see. We're still in that kind of, Wild West when it comes to AI. We're still in a stage where literally anything can happen. We have no idea how quickly it can progress in the next 1 year, 2 years. In the past 1 year / 2 years, it's been progressing very, very fast. But is it going to continue? We already see a lot of investors having doubts about if all of this is even worth it. You've probably seen those articles about how so many AI startups are just failing all of a sudden. And how Wall Street is having doubts if they're going to see the money again. All while Nvidia and Microsoft are still investing huge amounts into people like OpenAI, who just, sure, they do make money somehow, but it's still a non-profit. So it's very difficult to predict exactly what's going to happen next and how exactly this whole thing is going to look in even a couple of months' time. We'll have to see until CES, because when I went to, Computex, the whole show was just about AI. That was the only thing anyone could think about. It was the big buzzword. Is the same enthusiasm gonna be at IFA and at CES? That is my major question going to those trade shows. Have people calmed down, collected themselves, or is it just still going to be AI everywhere? I genuinely want to know how many times the word AI was said, printed on some promotional material, or anything like that at Computex. It would probably have to be in the millions. Because it was a lot. Anyway. Ryzen 9000 has fully released both the, 9700X, 9600X first, and then of course we had the 9950 and 9900X as well. And of course, they were met with a mixed reaction. I did my video recently covering AMD's recent response to a lot of it. And one thing we've already seen is that an increase of the TDP from the 65 watts, which was the default on these chips, to 105 watts, has already shown pretty major improvements. So people like MSI have already been releasing the BIOSes. It's something that was teased by AMD, and now we're actually getting those BIOS updates into the hands of consumers. And as it shows here, 30% multi-core performance improvement. It's almost as just having a higher TDP. Okay, huge asterisks, but having a high TDP usually results in better performance, and I never really understood why they would just do 65 watts. It sounds great for like efficiency and stuff like that, but it's just so low of a number. I don't think many people care about it, like 65 watts, that is approaching, maybe not a laptop, but like a big chunky gaming laptop. That's what you're approaching with a TDP like that. And granted, with that kind of trend towards mini PCs, obviously a 65 watt would be cool. But performance first and foremost. TDPs do not win you the silicon wars. Performance is king, and performance is what gives you the good publicity, is what makes people want to buy your CPU. A lot more people are going to buy a CPU, a Ryzen 9000 CPU, for the high performance than just because it has like a sub 100 watt TDP. Now, I'm not saying to go crazy, okay? We are getting dangerously close to getting back to 200 watt TDPs on the other end. And recently doing some more experimenting with the FX 9590. That is just such an insane TDP for a chip. Intel is also going absolutely mental in that direction. So yeah, I'm not saying go too overboard, but to give us something more than 65 watt. And if you want to go 65 watt, don't make it a Ryzen 7. 65 watt should be Ryzen 5s, Ryzen 3s, and your mobile stuff, right? It'd be cool though if for a future chip they made like a Ryzen 7 but give it a super low TDP specifically for the whole mini PC crowd, because they're getting pretty big for some reason. I never understood the trend myself, but oh well. Granted, I'm also always, not always, but a lot of the time against also making the product stack too complicated, and AMD has a bad reputation when it comes to making a product stack super complicated and hard for people to understand. So having a separate, basically the same thing but with a lower TDP SKU would just add to the confusion, I think. But yeah, what do you think of all of this? I assume a lot of you will probably agree with me. You'd rather have the higher TDP than have high performance and have a lower TDP, lower performance. And this isn't even the beginning. This is already showing promising performance updates for AMD, but there's also the thing about Windows and a brand new version of Windows, the 24H2 update that's coming soon. The patch for 23H2 that adds the new, I believe it was the branch prediction in the end. That was like the big feature that made AMD CPU so like underperform. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's a branch prediction. People have also seen some pretty decent results with that enabled as well. I'll probably be making a video about that. I haven't updated yet, just because I want to do some before and after benchmarks on my older 7950X. I know that's last gen, but I read that it's pretty much all recent Ryzen CPUs that should benefit from this new version of Windows. So hey, rejoice Team Red fans, because you'll be getting potentially up to like, I don't know, 20%, okay, maybe not 20%, but like 10 to 15% performance uplifts for pretty much free. So that's cool. Granted, Ryzen 9000 is still not the greatest launch right now. Is it the worst launch so far of the whole Ryzen thing? I wouldn't say so. Granted the fact that we still aren't getting current next gen motherboards for a while. We're not getting any X870 or B850 motherboards anytime soon. That's kind of sad. That's kind of disappointing. I'm not just saying that because my channel can relies a lot on making videos on those kind of motherboards. It makes those kind of videos always perform extremely well. Patrick Harrison says, I'd like to see SLI gaming return. People say it doesn't work, but if you actually try it, it works really well in NVLink. No compromises for 4K gaming, no DLSS, so impressive. Honestly, it would have to just make sense financially. That's the thing. Because I'd love to see return for high-end PCs for 40, like 40, not 49s, like 50 90s, 50 80s. For lower-end cards, it would be a difficult sell. Okay, stay with me, okay? It would be a very difficult sell at first, right? Because let's say there's a graphics card for $600, and you want to buy two to play an SLI. That is $1,200. The scaling that the SLI provides you with has to be pretty good, so that you get a somewhat equivalent performance from two of those $600 graphics cards than you would if you were to buy a $1,200 graphics card. Which that's like, 50, 80 or whatever territory. However, where I see SLI really kind of being a great option would be if you just stick with one card for now, and then you want a dirt cheap upgrade to your performance later down the line. That is basically for a while what I wanted to do, because I had for the longest time a 1080 Ti, and I wanted to upgrade around the time of the big GPU shortage, and that combined with just the financial situation, the channel really making that much money just made it impossible. And then I also found out that my motherboard doesn't even support SLI, so I wouldn't be able to do it anyway. But that's what I'm going to do, because 1080 Ti's at that point were dirt cheap. I could get another matching 1080 Ti for maybe like £200, £300. Granted, I'd also require a better PSU to run it, but still it wouldn't be that expensive, and I'd actually be able to get a bit more performance while I'd wait for new NVIDIA graphics cards to actually be in stock again. Again, none of that worked out, and I ended up going straight from 1080 Ti to a RTX 4080. Okay, well, I did use an ARC A770 for a while in between, but that's a long story. So in situations like that, that is when I could see SLI actually making sense. When you just want a cheap upgrade later down the line with some use second-hand market graphics card of the same type as the one you bought, then I could see SLI being cool. When you just want a kind of quick bump in specs towards the end of your GPU life cycle, as it were, and it could just keep your current rig competitive for a while longer. Again, it all really depends on how good the scaling is. Because, again, if the scaling isn't good and you aren't getting that much value out of that second GPU, then why not just go for a single GPU solution and just go for your better graphics card? Just spend the money you spend on one better graphics card. So that's a kind of thing that you'd have to keep in mind. Mixed multi-GPU. That could, as in like what, using two different cards together? That could be actually pretty awesome. Imagine you have if you could just combine like a 5080 with like, I don't know, a 5060, 5070. That could be awesome. If you can mix and match GPUs like that, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Again, I think it would mostly be good for buying used. Because again, if you were to buy a 5070, and then if you're like, oh, I want a bit of performance, I'm going to buy a 5050 if that card exists. So let's say you pay together for that, I don't know, $1,200, $1,300. Again, are you going to be getting the same or more performance than you would from just a single $1,300 NVIDIA graphics card, or even AMD. But let's be honest, AMD are not going to make competitive cards in that kind of range. So forget I said anything about AMD there. Again, I think it'd be really, really cool if you could use different GPUs together, but it's tough. The performance economics of SLI would have to be really good. They have to be really competitive for it to ever make a return, for it to ever make sense to anyone again. I think, especially with the rise of AI and people deploying more GPUs in the systems anyway, for making, you know, like more complex AI models at home. I've been, especially at Computex recently, I saw people like Thermaltake have like AI cases, which are just cases with more GPU graphics card slots, so you can have multiple graphics cards for AI acceleration. With stuff like that, solutions for better combine those cards for consumer level could eventually also lead to SLI and NVLink technologies not only being good for AI but also for gaming. And AI could of course also greatly accelerate the performance characteristics of SLI and potentially make it a lot more worth it and a lot more efficient again for the price you're paying. But again, it's tough. It'd be very, very tough to make it worth it. Okay. How long have I been doing this for? 40 minutes. Wow. I had no idea I've been already streaming 40 minutes. I thought the show was going to be way shorter than that. These cookies are so good though. I want to go to Taiwan again just for these cookies. Not even these, the pineapple cakes that Sunny Hills also had. Those were good. Are we gonna actually get to an hour-long show? I didn't expect it to go for that long, but okay. Which topic should I do next? I have 2 topics left. The main ones. I think let's do the funnier one first, at least funnier to me. And that is that apparently Twitter is getting banned over in Brazil. It's like how much worse can this platform, how much just bad stuff can happen on one platform ever since this guy took over? It is actually impressive. So yeah, basically, long story short, and I haven't looked into a lot of details myself, to be honest, but Brazil required that Twitter have a legal representative in the country. They declined and they didn't want to do that, so now they're getting banned. And not just getting banned, they are going on all-out war against Twitter. Like, you cannot even use a VPN to access Twitter. And I saw you can get fined like the equivalent of several $1,000 if you get caught using a VPN to use Twitter. They are going nuclear option on this. And I realized, you know, how much does it really matter? It's just like one country, it's like whatever. But then I realized something. They remembered exactly how like ginormous of a population Brazil has. Like what is it at right now? Brazil, it's like 300 million, I'm pretty sure. 250 million, yeah. That's a pretty big country. That's a lot of users to lose all of a sudden. So it is, oh, there it is. People or businesses using means such as VPNs to access the platform could be fined up to, and says here, £6,700. That is insane. I wonder how they're gonna actually do that. The thing about VPNs is it's kind of hard to detect people using VPNs unless you use like context clues as well. You know, if you notice that a certain IP address looked up VPN Brazil cheap VPN Brazil or like VPN download, something like that, and then a while later you see that IP address just like disappear or not have like much activity for an IP address, you can probably, and if you see money leave a person's bank account going towards a VPN, then you probably can put the pieces together that they're probably using a VPN. Do they have that kind of surveillance in Brazil that they can check all of that? I have no idea. I have no idea how else they could actually enforce this or find out that people even use VPNs apart from using these kind of context clues. And it's not just about accessing Twitter on the web. They also gave ultimatums to people like Google, Apple to remove the app from the app stores. And it's like it says right here, 5 days to get removed. Like full nuclear option. And as funny as it is, it's also just sad. It's also just sad exactly the state of the app. Again, like I said, I really need to look a lot more into why things were so... why things just disintegrated in this whole ordeal. I know that they've been butting heads for a while now, but I don't know what finally made this whole relationship between Twitter and Brazil collapse completely. Obviously, Twitter's standpoint on this, it's all about like free speech, right? And they're trying to censor free speech or whatever, but like there's definitely more to it than that, because come on, it's Twitter under Musk. There has to be more to it than that. So yeah, I just found it funny. I just found it absolutely funny. I kind of feel I'm kind of jealous now for the Brazilians not having to deal with this app anymore. They're finally free. To be fair, at this rate, EU will be next. I'm calling it right now. By the end of the year, there's going to be an actual, real threat to Twitter being banned in the EU. Mark my words. Mark my words. My voice is starting to go. I should probably end the stream soon. I have, thankfully, only one topic left, and that is this one. Speaking of companies that are just collapsing, EK. This is another one that's just kind of sad. This is just the theme of this entire show, companies collapsing. This is another kind of weird one for me, because I spoke to EK recently at Computex, and I wanted to, get in touch, start doing stuff with them, but they've been kind of busy. And they've been attacking outlets such as OC3D now. Basically, there's been some drama for a while now about treatment of employees, not paying employees, financial drama, stuff like that. And things are essentially boiling over as more people are leaving, including actually people who, like, higher up people who I actually spoke to at Computex. Like, people who I actually did content with at Computex. Like, the people you see in my video from the EK booth, I'm pretty sure they're all gone. Just to kind of give you some, idea, and this is something I also learned today as well. The Slovenian authorities have started an investigation into EK over continued late payments. Man, I like EK as a like they are by far the biggest name in the water cooling game, and just as I got into, I started getting into water cooling myself. They provide pretty much everything you need for water cooling, apart from one thing. If you watched my water cooling, my current build video, you know what that one thing is, and it's so annoying that it's something they don't have. I'm not gonna say what it is. You better watch that video so you can see why exactly I'm mad at EK. And then they started going over. Started attacking media outlets such as OC3D. This is the giant paragraph they got. It just goes, "Dear OC3D, EK firmly rejects the inaccurate speculation presented in recent media posts and is deeply disappointed by the unwarranted attempts to tarnish a brand's reputation. Employee turnover is a natural aspect of any business, especially ones that don't pay their employees. It's very natural for employee turnover to appear then. While a few front members of our team have departed, they do not define EK. the faces of the company, the people who appear in all your content, the people who are the faces of the company, they do not define the company. Good to know, EK. Let's just read through all of this thing. The company's leadership in the industry was established long before the tenure, achieved through collective team effort. Furthermore, the transition of personnel mentioned was indeed conducted. However, some of these individuals are continuing to collaborate with EK in alternative capacities. What does that even mean? I'm not sure if that just sounds weird or ominous. Given that EK is undergoing a restructuring process, changes in staffing were planned as part of the new business setup. The core team remains sturdy and committed to our mission. Market dynamics have significantly impacted the industry as a whole, necessitating bold actions to adapt to the current market situation. Basically, they're not addressing anything on their part. They're basically just trying to make it sound like everything is going well. And then it's just the final part here. EK urges the media to verify the information before publishing unfounded insinuations. The audacity in that sentence. Oh, be quiet, Echo. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to our loyal customers who continue to support us, demonstrating the excellence of EK's products as they are integrated into millions of systems worldwide. Don't get me wrong, EK, they make good products, but of course they're kind of, falling apart at the same time. So yeah, it's been insane. Former employees have been kind of speaking out about it as well. I'd recommend you kind of go through and read about the whole drama yourself, because it's been something special. Again, no, it's just so depressing seeing all these kind of good companies have such kind of problems recently, but from the ashes, new better stuff will rise, as it always does. And stuff like Anantech might be failing, EK might be failing. Hopefully something better will kind of rebuild out of that. And on the kind of somewhat positive spin, I guess we can just end the show here, because it's been getting kind of late. Towards the end of the show, I usually want to showcase some of the new stuff that's come into the office recently for me to review, and I have one pretty cool product from Be Quiet. Don't remember, there's actually an embargo, I'm pretty sure, so I can't really show you that. And apart from that, I don't really know what else came in. I'm working on quite a few interesting projects for the Avrona channel. If you're not subscribed to that, you better be, because it's so close to getting to 1,000 subscribers, which is needed for monetization. I have quite a few really fun videos coming up over there. One on Half-Life Decay, which is that PlayStation 2 exclusive Half-Life add-on that a lot of people know about. And then the big one, it's going to be the 20-year video on Need for Speed Underground 2, one of my favorite games of all time, and it's 20 years old. When did it happen? When? I'm ancient at this point. I feel absolutely ancient at this point. But another video I'm doing actually is on some of the other versions of Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2. For that, I actually got myself, just came in and posted yesterday, my very first actually GBA game ever, and that's the Need for Speed Underground for GBA. If you don't know, I'm pretty much collecting every single version of Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2 I can get. And this is a pretty awesome one for my collection. Look at this. Again, I've never had anything to do with GBAs, with Game Boys in general, so it's pretty fun actually, just kind of seeing this whole form factor of the box, form factor of the cartridge. I don't have a GBA to play it on. I probably won't get a GBA. I'll probably go for the Game Boy Player, I think it's called, that accessory for the GameCube. It allows you to play Game Boy Advance games on that. So I could just play it. I can just hook it up to my OSSC and hook it up to a nice 4K TV or whatever, and then enjoy a game intended for a handheld with a resolution about on par with my Stream Deck over here, and then upscale it to 4K. I wonder how that's gonna go. I wonder how that's gonna look. So yeah, again, subscribe to the Avrona channel if you're into like old gaming stuff like that, because I have some pretty awesome projects coming over there. What is chat saying as well? I'm pretty unsettled about Intel abandoning their biggest advantage and going with non-upgradable memory on Lunar Lake and pushing big core performance leadership on the back burner. Looks bad. I wonder how much it is by choice and how much it is just by what silicon they have to work with, and what are the advantages of any kind of given architecture. You know, if core performance is just not really that achievable with Lunar Lake, then obviously they have to kind of focus on other things. And not every kind of CPU generation has to be like the big new thing. Some of them minor upgrades, minor refreshes are fine as well, I guess. It's me trying to put a positive spin on it again, but yeah, it's just sad. Intel is doing badly. EK is doing badly. AMD is doing badly. Nvidia is doing well. Their profits are still through the roof, but they have also been some rumors of delays for Blackwell. That's a topic I haven't covered at all. Blackwell apparently could be delayed. There's like still no news about when any kind of consumer Blackwell is going to appear. There's still absolutely no news for when Battle Mage is going to appear. Battle Mage is still just MIA as far as we know. So yeah, what a great positive show. So yeah, like I said, hopefully next week it's going to we're gonna have our very first show via Starlink in Poland. That's gonna be fun to try and organize. Again, hopefully it'll happen, but at the same time, when I'm in Poland, that's like pretty much the only time I ever touch grass. I be social. I hang out with people, so I can't promise anything. I'll try to make it for a show and have a great show on Saturday for you. But anyway, that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. If you did, then remember, subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you all in whatever I make next. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
All I hear is to let go.